Okay, so we'll come back to him.
James, nothing new.
Steve, same thing.
Mike?
Yeah, Gail, and we're hiring, quality engineers, QA techs,
Where?
Schneider, over Fairfield, right over by.
Schneider Electric?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Right off of what, Port Union or Sims or?
This is
Union
the one
Center?
that, it's on Union Center, and it's just past Princeton.
One of your guys is a good friend of mine at a motorcycle ring. This has been 10 or 12 years ago now. And I apologize, the name absolutely escapes me. But yeah, he worked for Schneider for quite a while before I met him.
Mm-hmm. Is he still working there?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
No.
What was that?
Yeah, he was headed north on Hamilton Avenue, and traffic was stopped. He hit some gravel off the side and he shattered his helmet.
Okay.
It was not good.
Trying to get Kenny to sell his motorcycle before he does himself in. It fell over on him a couple of months ago. Fortunately, he was still, but said that's a message from God.
Mm-hmm.
God
Coming up
sends
time to
good
sell it,
messages.
about a month or so.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know of anyone who's ever had a motorcycle who hasn't had a wreck.
No, no. That's part of having a bike.
Mm-hmm. I had one, I didn't wreck it.
I was riding
didn't have
one
a
time
bad
and
left
it
some
tried to rip my
subscripts
leg
out.
off, and I never gave it a second chance.
The L's, would be L1, L2, L3.
Oh, up here?
Yeah.
A wise
Yeah.
man. That's why you're still with us.
Well, it's still poorly
I've ridden a bike since I was
translated.
15. When I hit a parked car.
It's
and
nice
the
that
guy's
they're even
driveway.
trying to explain it.
Ooh.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
true.
really?
That's a sign. That
Yeah.
means gas tank. It's like, stick to the trees and
I've seen some pretty rudimentary explanations on how this works, but this is the first time I've actually seen a real explanation for it. Basically, it comes down to magic.
We had mentioned before the meeting a little bit about thermal imaging is getting cheaper, and around $100 for an adapter for your phone, so you can do thermal imaging. It's getting cheap. We're looking for something around $100.
That's the FLIR. You can get unknown brands for much less.
Really?
Like 30.
those aren't the same.
Oh, no, I know.
I mean,
but they're listed as thermal imaging cameras.
Yeah, SparkFun sells. No, Adafruit was selling one for $40, but it's only an 8x8 sensor.
Oh, really? Ooh, okay.
The FLIRs are 80x60.
Yeah. Looking for one that's USB or something like that, so you can, with either a Windows driver or well, Android. Android is, I've seen them. They're cheaper now.
Well, the FLIRs are USB.
Mm-hmm.
It's OTG. I mean, you need an adapter for it, but the pins are there.
I thought FLIR was an acronym for forward-looking infrared.
Could be. It's also a company that
What's
produces.
Lepton is the company.
Oh, is that just the line?
LEPTON. I don't know what the FLIR part is. What even what the
I'm thinking
Yeah.
that they had those on the F-14. That was what I remember from decades ago.
They use the same term for the helicopter. Infrared.
Okay, I'm sorry. I guess the manufacturer is FLIR Lepton.
Oh, okay, so it's a brand name, and
Yeah.
people use it as if it's.
Kleenex.
Yeah. Well, they probably took the name from the military designation. It's for the forward-looking IR.
Yeah, that's what it stands for, right? FLIR,
I don't know.
forward-looking infrared.
Yeah, that's what they say on TV.
So the company is the one that designed that, right?
I don't know. I just know that they're the more expensive and better looking of the IR cameras.
Well, they
And they're now down to about 105.
yeah,
Which is
I
bad.
saw one not too long ago, and the guys, I remember, from the Navy, we had one, and it was $30,000 or something, and he said, how much would you expect to pay for that? And I said, I don't know, maybe 10. And he goes, this is $250. And I'm like,
Ooh.
well,
They
hell,
have
I would give you $250 for this.
Yeah.
They have a new camera that's 160 by 120.
Okay. How much? 30?
Yeah,
We're
no.
looking at 30 now. He's got our expectations set.
But not from them.
Oh.
But this is what they do. They make infrared stuff.
It's probably sensors from missiles.
Yeah, well, ours, we had one of the first Nifties, and
The rod camera itself is $239, and that's just the camera module. You still need something to plug it into.
And we're looking for something USB-like, and $30 would be good.
Yeah.
30 bucks sounds good.
8 by
It
8
fixes
is
up.
all you're going to get for that much.
And we'd like for somebody to have one that we could borrow to sort of scope out the. So all I want to use it for is environmental and scope out the house, see where the leaks are.
Smoke alarms are going off in the house, and I go, well, is there a fire? It's going, no, they're just going off. I go, well, press and hold. It's all central wired. Press and hold one of the alarms, 5 seconds, and let go. It'll stop. Give it a little while, the rest of them will stop. She goes, it's still going.
Oh,
So rather
yeah.
than say, just ignore it for an hour.
Feel free to take.
Yeah.
Tell them where the cotton pads are.
Oh, yeah.
If you start to see smoke, get out.
That's my first thing. Is there a fire? I
Oh,
don't know. Smoke alarms are
I
going
don't know.
off.
Well, you
That's
might
the
want to
biggest
look.
annoyance. Well, I'm going to catch the video.
Later.
Good
We'll
luck.
see you later.
Okay, do you write yours? It's all yours.
Okay. This is an omni-wheel car that I put together at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's the math that I don't understand on how it works. Seriously, I can't explain this math to you. I really don't have any idea. I've read this a couple of different times, and I'm still not real sure I actually understand the math behind it.
Well, V is velocity. W is what? Angular velocity.
Where do you see
What?
double?
There's a W.
Well, it's not
It's
really
further
W,
down.
that's a.
There's linear velocity,
Angular velocity.
linear speed.
Yeah, y'all watch that board up there real close.
Yeah, me
Down this
too.
direction, I think I might have to have it.
No, you haven't. They're not enough. Not enough to go around.
You've got to match an angle to make it move the right direction.
Well,
Suppose
one of them's the angle you want to move. It's probably the theta.
the theta. That's the angle you're trying to match to, I think. See, the theta always looks like it's going to equal 0.
Well, no.
No.
For translation,
For translation, it matches A.
for going left and right, theta is 0.
And for going forward and backwards,
Theta is 0 too. Huh? Well, yeah, because all your movements along one of
One of the axes.
yeah.
That makes sense.
Anyway,
Anyway.
they took care of all that for you.
Yes, I don't know if I really need to understand it necessarily. These are, they're omni wheels is what they are. So they got motion in clockwise, counterclockwise. But as long as there's one of these little nubby things touching the ground, it also has motion in left and right,
Coaxial.
coaxial. So with just the 3 wheels, you can make it kind of do a scrape. You can make it go forward and backwards. You can make it sit there and spin. And that's what all that math is trying to explain. And I understand maybe a third of what's going on with that. Maybe not even that much. So we get to play, I guess.
Look at.
How dare you?
We have napkins too, but don't give Marcus one.
Oh, why? What are you trying to say?
So I'll take one of the wheels this week.
Back to Mark. Wow.
Thanks. Yeah, actually, I'm not allowed to have those.
Oh, that's an almond there.
That wheel. I
Thank
think-
you. I want the
think that's
robot to
wheels
deliver
away.
the one to
Oh,
me.
okay.
It's not, yeah.
And for some reason, it seems like their code is backwards. Like down is making it go forward, unless
It's forward and reverse.
forward is not where I think forward is. But I can't get it to translate right, which is basically a scraping run.
Are the wheels 100 and the axles 120 degrees apart?
One would hope.
Looks at.
Yes, but they don't need to. Just different math.
120 makes it easier.
When these wheels first came out, my dad and I wanted to build a thing for spray painting location of studs in house design, but use 4 of these. So drive one motor and that gave you X, the other motor gave you Y, and it just stayed in the same orientation.
Well, you can do that with these, only they need to be 45 degrees apart. No, on each corner.
Okay.
Make a square. You put one
Oh.
here, one here, one here, and one here.
Yeah.
4 wheels instead.
Isn't that 45 degrees?
No, that's 90.
Oh, well, that's why I don't understand this, because my numbers are.
You just double it and you're okay.
So Steve, when did those wheels first come out? First time I saw them was 1979 or so. Okay. And they've been available for quite a while.
There's a German CNC router that is set up like this, and it does keep track of where it is on the surface, and takes G-code to
There you go.
But I always thought that just like this is sliding on the surface and there's sawdust on there, you're going to lose orientation unless you have some positive way of indexing what it is.
Yeah, the odometry with these type of wheels, it's kind of, forget about it.
Yeah. Well, these Picasso-like structures, whatever you do that.
That's not bad.
You would think that you could do some extreme cutting of materials like plastics with one of these. If you had set up a grid, that you could really do some exotic work with it.
Get off me.
You wanna play? Before the battery starts.
How many times can you spin it like that? I mean, can it just sit there and spin?
Yeah, you can just sit there and spin it.
Nice.
So what does what here?
Just play, because I don't really think it's exactly the way the book says it's supposed to be. Just as long as it doesn't go creaming off the table, I think we're all right.
So did you just get that one? Or?
It's actually been sitting on the parts pile for probably 3 months.
Okay.
I put it together last night before,
Okay.
2 o'clock in the morning.
No, go ahead.
Come on now.
Nice. I like it.
Go ahead, play.
No, I'm scared.
Why?
I'll break it. I've been known to break it. Oh, I didn't notice those arrows are actually.
Yeah,
I
it
didn't
actually.
notice it. I didn't notice the arrows were pointing in the direction. No.
The last button on there, it's supposed to shoot a ball.
I don't like that.
The red
Oh,
button.
that's what the towers.
If you hit the red button,
Yeah.
it'll pull the thing down,
Oh, I see it.
Oh.
and
Put one of those cupcakes on there, and you could.
Yeah.
He wanted them to.
Shoot on the mark.
now I will tell you, it shoots the ball about that far. The ball clears the robot, and that's about as far as it gets.
You have to eat 5
Cupcake
cupcakes.
would
Yeah.
just go.
They have to have a napkin. Who's got that? Oh, send him napkins.
Napkin.
This is a console?
Mm-hmm. Turn left and right. Okay, that's forward and reverse. Try the other one too. Oh, yeah.
Grab a cupcake.
Yeah, that's. I still think that's weird.
This is
This seems like it's weird.
Turn it left. Turn out left and right.
Not even 30 seconds of Vicente Pro.
It's a round
There you
number.
go.
What's a set of those?
How do you
wheels cost?
spin it like that?
Left and right on the left control.
On the left control,
I
left.
think that's right.
and
Turn it left and right. On the left control,
Yeah.
take it left.
Okay.
No, turn it. Yeah.
Okay. I like that. I like that.
He's scared too.
I like that.
And right just goes.
Well, I don't want to
circles-
shoot it off the
circles
table.
other way. It's pretty cute.
I don't
It has almonds in it.
I don't follow
In
instructions
case you're
very well.
allergic to almonds.
Who's birthday?
Sir?
Who's the
Birthday.
You know who's going to understand the math?
Maybe 39.
Oh, it's your birthday? My
Oh,
birthday.
my wife's
That's
yesterday.
the fall baby.
My
Yeah,
wife, actually,
again.
my wife and son was yesterday.
He's going to be the same age I'll be later this year. 70.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
Maybe you've got a.
I'm going to be
Can
50.
you move the drive?
Yeah.
He's the same age you are?
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm younger than him. He's,
Yeah,
he's
right.
already there.
That's right.
I got a long time before I'm 70.
Here goes.
4 or 5
Boop.
months.
At midnight, I'm going to be 15 3/4.
Are you now? Well, that would be, how often does leap year skip?
Next year.
That's right.
Quite a bit.
Every four
Quite a bit,
times that,
yeah.
4 times that.
Well,
Yeah, let's not do the math on that.
Like every century?
You're right.
One or you don't have one?
Yeah, it is every century, yeah. I think you don't have one, because it would normally be
adapted?
evenly divisible by 4, but you don't have one.
The adjustment.
Unless it's also divisible by 1,000.
Wow.
Then it's back.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's back again then.
Uh,
Good.
I
Okay.
forget what I paid for
Better
that.
chance of
120
figuring out when
maybe?
Easter is.
Nah, I couldn't have paid
Probably
that.
not,
80
yeah.
bucks.
Yeah.
See if I
We're
can-
looking for, we got a new thing we're looking for. We're looking for a cheap,
Well, sure, but
thermal
Yeah.
imaging software. They got that one for about $100.
Yeah.
That plugs into your phone.
Oh,
Okay.
So we're looking for a cheap way to do that.
oh, I do have a topic when you get to show and tell section.
Maybe I did pay 120 for it.
Nice. I like that.
You're more than welcome, because I think all I was really doing was showing this thing off, unless people
Well, no.
have questions or whatever.
It's got a Nerf controller on it.
Yeah.
That's the Nerf Link. That's supposed to be like 1,000 feet or something like that.
Wow.
The
Interesting.
the ball thrower, it's supposed to throw a ball, but it throws it like right in front of the robot.
Like a girl.
It has the charger also.
No.
You need to charge the batteries.
Yeah, you have to provide your own battery. So those were my batteries to start with.
There's
But
a
you can see it.
documentary about
It's upgradable, so you can stick.
George Harrison.
It's a lot of
and
power
he
for
was
that, right?
attacked in his home
Yeah, I
by
don't-
It's too much.
lunatic.
I don't know why they went with
The
such
guy
big
dumped
batteries
his
on
wife.
the remote.
George comes up and grabs him and
Uh-oh.
they're wrestling around. And Olivia gets a poker.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she says to herself, I remember my dad saying,
Sort of going
don't
sideways.
swing like a
It
girl."
should go more sideways.
And she didn't.
Yeah. Those batteries are doing quite well. That's one of the better behaved ones I've seen.
Got a little lightweight ball, like one of those little foam ones that might do better. Like a ping pong.
Mm-hmm.
See how it does on carpet.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't do very well at all. Let's see. Let's just see. I be talking about the Altair.
Oh, if I could get.
I'm
Okay.
just getting out from my flu.
Come here.
Oh, good to see you.
boy. Here, boy.
We mentioned earlier that what was your status?
No, today was
Cupcakes out.
Yeah, I know. For cleaning. See how she does.
How's that? Oh, really? That? Oh, my goodness.
Not enough horsepower.
How are you?
Yeah.
I was sick for a week.
Oh,
Since
yeah.
last
There's a lot of
Yeah, I
friction
remember
with
you
the
saying
tile
that.
floors.
Yeah,
Today
that's,
I
Yeah,
throw
they kind of need
everything.
to slide, don't they?
Clean,
yeah,
shower.
yeah.
Run away!
Well,
Run
it's
away!
snowing right now.
Yeah, I was surprised.
That's kind of surprised it was, yeah.
Winter has returned, but I did see the temperatures are going to be low again.
Yeah, I think Monday.
yeah.
Monday.
I think
Well, it's got an error.
Well, we
That's
supposed to get
sorry.
snow now. We supposed to get
34.
3 to
34, but
about 3
on
inches
Monday
of
it will be
snow
cold again
Sunday.
overnight on Monday. The low will be near 0, I think. Yeah, that's quite a drop, because
Monday?
I think Monday morning, or Tuesday morning, however they call it.
I still have not heard anything from Cincinnati Maker Faire.
-7.
Well, I want to give
Is
them a
that,
buzz.
are these are centigrade?
They haven't
Are
put
these
anybody
Celsius?
on the list
No, this is Celsius.
Fahrenheit?
yet. So
Fahrenheit, no, Celsius.
either they are
Yeah, Celsius.
they're probably way too far behind, or they're just not paying attention. I don't know
It'll be
which.
I'll announce this to the group in a minute or two.
Where is this?
Downtown library.
Library?
Yeah.
Inventors?
Yeah, Inventors Council. They've disbanded that, but they're going to have a meeting every 3 months.
Can anybody assist?
Anybody can go. Oh, yeah.
Anyone?
Yeah. I will announce it to the group here when the time comes.
See, that's in anonymous mode, and it's. I just think there's either something really wrong with the code, or one of those motors is not working right.
Is there a rubber band in there? or
Yeah,
something?
it's a hair scrunchie.
Oh,
They gave it.
Yeah, yeah.
They gave me a hair scrunchie
Okay, okay.
what do you do with
as
it?
a rubber band.
Yeah, it's inside a rubber band.
Yeah, well, it doesn't have enough. I think it needs a real rubber band, like a good.
I think it's a rubber band with some thread around.
Yeah.
Around.
What is it holding? I didn't see it.
Oh,
The arm.
This is for ping pong balls.
Oh, the arm.
the arm comes down
Okay,
and a ball comes out,
okay,
and then it just releases. The rubber band is what actually makes it come back up.
okay. Okay.
So, I'm really not. Everybody, he's got a thing.
No, well, no, it's no hurry. Just my memory's not that good, so I.
How this works.
LinkedIn.
Yeah, that happens.
Okay, wait. Again.
Yes, it's supposed to be unlocked. It's supposed to be unlocked still.
Yeah, yeah,
That's all.
that's it.
I know.
Pretty impressive.
It threw it. It did what it said. You can't say that it didn't do it.
Ask for your money back.
You know, all that's coming off. I'm going to take that whole thing.
Yeah.
Come to me. Come to me. Come to me.
That's King King one.
I'm going to have to play with the code or something just to
Yeah.
see if I can get it to work better.
Maybe you need a higher operating voltage.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Add more batteries.
More batteries. More power. Power.
There is a four-wheel drive wheelchair that has that type of wheel on the front, so that it can, so it doesn't
Oh, yeah.
scrape, I guess you'd say. I mean, they don't look exactly like that, but it has that roller concept. Has a number of
Yeah, the ones I
A
saw.
lot of
It's
rollers
called
in diagonal.
yeah, so that let's see, it's called a whirl, WHILL. I guess there's no R in it, but somehow I pronounce it with an R. But it moves really fast, and with the four-wheel drive.
There's no, that's not quite it either. The first one of these I ever saw, I swear that the wheels were made out of Skittle Bowl pins,
Okay.
but they were 45 degrees across the
Oh,
tread.
that's probably a Mecanum.
Mecanum
wheel. It's a little different, yeah.
It's quite a bit different.
MECCAM, I think.
Yeah. That's the next one I want to buy.
I think it's two C's, one in.
Yeah, there was
How
Mecanum robot
many
got
wheels, right? How many wheels? Is the name?
Can
two C's.
Mechano.
MECCAM.
Probably
There's no
an
O.
H. It's
Mechano
an
robot.
H. It's probably an
Mechan-
H and then CH.
There it
Oh.
is.
Double C, double C.
Oh,
There it is.
Mechano.
Mechano robot. Middle one.
Double C.
In the middle,
MECCANO.
that's the toys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not
Oh,
it's
okay.
not spelled the
Oh.
same way.
Oh,
No.
okay.
There's no O in it.
There's no O. It's mech can.
Close
Oh.
enough. Wheel. No, there's. I don't think
Wheels,
There's an O.
the first one.
There you go.
There we go.
Mecanum.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those.
Okay.
Those were those are
Those look bizarre.
Yeah.
It's a good video.
no, the forklift would be good.
Yeah.
I just saw a cool video of a forklift accident. I don't see how anybody made it out alive, but guy runs into one set of shelves, and it falls, and the next one falls, and then the one over falls.
Wow.
Oh, jeez.
Everything in the warehouse went down. It looked like dominoes.
Let's just see. These were they're really cool. Oh, this is not a bad video. If it plays.
Let's talk about mechanism wheels. Mechanism wheels are unique in that they allow your robot to actually strafe side to side. Instead of just moving forwards and backwards and turning like a tank, you can actually turn the wheels against each other
Oh,
and then
that's
move
wacky.
the robot to the side. Mechanism wheels
That's
do that
bad.
by
Like he's
incorporating
crying.
lots of small rollers on the
Those-
outside of the wheel hub.
those
the
wheels
rollers
are
set at a
expensive.
45-degree angle to the chassis, so that if they are in the right orientation to each other and you run them in the correct direction, the force that's exerted by the rollers actually overcomes the force of the wheels pushing against each other and produces a sideways
go
motion.
pretty much
This is really
sideways,
helpful
pretty
if you
much
have a four-wheel chassis and it gets stuck in a position where it actually can't turn, but it still needs to get out. It also helps if you're doing something like
The one thing that I read about those, you need good encoders because they have to know exactly where all the wheels are to make it work right. Because I've actually seen a video where it doesn't do this, where it's actually
Straight translation.
moving a straight line. Let's see if I can find it, because there is a better video of it. They're see if this one will actually do better.
Wheelchair motors. This thing's got some power.
The one I saw was about the size of a car. It was built for in warehouse use, and it was about the size of a car. They're not showing. Come on, let's see it do some funky stuff.
Right.
You haven't done anything funky yet.
The music is kind of funky, but see it sideways or something to the spine.
Come on, I want to see funky.
Actually, it's kind of sloppy.
There you go. See how smooth that is? My guess, SparkFun probably wasn't using any kind of encoders or anything, just doing it.
Oh, that's wacky.
Nice. Could help with parallel parking.
There's another kind of wheel that's an omni wheel. It looks more like a sphere. Have you seen that one? I don't know what it's called. It's more like a sphere, and inside the sphere they've got things that rotate left and right and front and back, and you can make that sphere do all kinds of funky stuff. I saw I think it was Ford had a concept video of what that might look like if they put it in a car.
I think inherently, if you have that many axles, your friction is going to go way up, and it's going to impact your overall efficiency. But for something, for a small location where you're not going to drive long distances, probably fine.
I don't know if this is the video.
Yeah,
This is-
I think
this-
what you're saying is it's gotta be a reason to put those on there, right? I mean, if you're just going to just a standard obstacle course where you're gonna go up and down, because you're gonna pay for, remember, you're gonna pay the premium for the hardware itself.
Well, this is still like
That's right, yeah.
this one was still like a concept. I've seen a couple of them where they were very small scale and they were kind of neat, but they're probably expensive. My guess is some engineer at some motor company saw them and said, "Let's do this thing." I want to see the car. There was a video where they showed what the car would do, and this isn't it.
This looks like more of a power source. Wheel.
There. The future Goodyear. It was Goodyear. Okay. Wasn't Ford. That probably threw me off.
But I mean, you have point contact, right? So how to...
Well, the video explains that the tire's smart and it rotates itself so if only one surface gets contacted at a time or something. It's a funky tire. But it's still a concept.
Mhm. Oh, Maglove. Hmm.
So you can change the rotation direction as you're going down the road. Or
This is a
Oh,
great,
okay.
So it can slalom.
Okay. So is that on a Maglove? Is that what's
It's what they're
lifting it
Yeah.
mostly?
How are they turning the wheels though?
Magic.
Stepper motor.
yeah, they don't actually turn like you normally used to turn. I think they,
So this is where it says that the car senses that the tires are getting wore out, and while it's sitting, it rotates the tires to a different.
Okay.
They have a bare spot on it when it starts to roll the other way. So I get a lump on it.
And in the future of parking,
Yeah, right.
you know, this is still what, 100 years from now?
Yeah.
One of the things that may help the maglev is actually the graphene. Might help it because they have that superconductivity type stuff.
Oh.
It could be very useful.
Because it can roll and rotate in all directions. The second characteristic of Eagle 360 is that it is embarking
Well,
electronics.
it's been what, 140 years since James Clerk Maxwell unified electric and magnetic theory. So we got another 140 years we can.
Magic. It's all magic.
Yeah.
All new technology is magic.
Yeah. Until it's not.
Till it's not. In our lifetime, it's magic.
We have a lot of things go from magic to reality, though. I mean, it's been amazing.
Yeah, but you still got dead batteries.
Well, yeah, batteries are still batteries.
Every morning when I walk in.
Okay, Leroy, I'm going to give my
Yeah, go ahead.
talk here if I can find the email. Let's see.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to.
No, you're fine. I'm
Yeah, really.
Just-
And they're all working.
I know, exactly. See, I like that.
All right. Everybody listen.
Oh, well, I received an email. I had been attending last year. They had once a month the Inventors Council of Cincinnati, it was called. But it was at the main library downtown, and it was disbanded at the end of the year because not that many people were attending. They didn't have a sponsor or stuff like that. But they are going to hold a meeting each quarter, and the one that there's one Tuesday, March 5th here coming up. So this will be downtown at the main library in the tower room, so that's on the 3rd floor. And the speaker is going to, his name is Mike Martin. He's from the Service Corps of Retired Executives. He will be presenting on sources of capital, including crowdfunding. Let's see, it says we will learn about the various types and their requirements as well as their advantages and disadvantages. There will be time for audience members to share their experiences too. We'll also spend a little time catching up on the progress of people's products and inventions, it says here. So that's next Tuesday at the main library downtown. And the tower room, I think the tower room is on the 3rd floor.
Can you give us time?
Oh yeah, sorry, it says from 7 till 8:30 p.m. So it starts at 7 p.m. down there.
You'll send me a link to that. I'll put an announcement in the meeting.
Okay.
Meeting notes.
All right, I
meeting
will.
announcements.
I will.
Hey, Leroy.
Yeah.
I got my little buddy that came got here today. I ordered on Tuesday, so I took the little buddy.
The little buddy talker,
Yeah,
yeah.
little buddy talker. We talked about last week a little bit, and I ordered it when we left the meeting, and I got him yesterday.
He's pretty fast.
Pretty good, yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I always document when I order this stuff because if you end up forgetting, it's like I was surprised to get it so quick. So I ordered two of them.
Why not?
It's right.
I got the new shield that he made, which has the LCD display and one of the little buddy talker chips in it. Kind of cool, but I don't know what I'm going to do with it.
Right, I am. Yeah,
I just the guy that made that he's really good about his Kickstarters. I mean, every one of them I've ever seen he's gotten his product out before he says and whatever. So when I see something like that I even if I have just a little bit of interest
Right.
in it,
Right.
I'll
Support
back him.
'em.
Yeah.
Yeah, support 'em anyway, yeah.
Because Lord knows I don't need another little buddy talker.
I don't think you probably don't need another whole anything.
I've invented a coyote repeller.
Are you
Very
having?
So you have 6?
sophisticated. It seems to work. It's been a couple of weeks now, a little over a week. And what it is 2 LED floodlights and a dusk to dawn switch. I don't think they like light. And we have woods beside our house. And I got one of the floodlights pointing out to the woods. It's about a 90 watt equivalent. And so far, I've heard coyotes one time since I put it in. And we usually were hearing them pretty frequently. So that may be a trick for us. Light up the area. I do infrared lights, but so why not do regular light? It's the same. Both of them pretty cheap. The
They're
dusk to
fairly
dawn
smart.
switches.
They will get used
They'll
to it.
figure it out, huh?
Really?
Yeah.
They'll figure it out.
Yeah, they'll get used to it and start to ignore it.
Yeah.
That's going to take 6 months.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Especially if you have, you don't have, you just have cats though, right? You just get cats, no little dogs or anything.
Yeah, I was thinking about putting some dog food on the cat's tails and letting them out for them.
Run, be free.
Yeah, we
Maybe
have-
you can use
we have
this.
a few of our cats
Yeah.
that are attacked.
Throw dog food at the
With bad
coyotes.
food or something.
This will scare them.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, that'll
All I
do
need
it.
is get
They'll figure that one out real quick,
thermal
huh?
imaging to aim it, and
Yeah, with all of our mighty power.
Trebuchet.
Chocolate biscuits, and you'll make the coyotes happy. Come here, little robot.
I don't, you know, this company makes good products. They really do, but just
Not so much figured out.
What
I
is-
guess if you got close to the basket, right?
No.
No.
much closer.
So what is that company?
Adept.
Adept, yeah.
Yeah.
Are they the ones that made the motors a while back?
I haven't.
They made a big.
No, it's not. This is ADEEPD.
Ah,
No, it's not a
okay.
big company that
No,
does,
no.
Oh.
It's not, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They
The play on words.
they've got that extra letter in
Yeah.
there.
Oh, the extra letter. Yeah.
So it gets them a little credibility by thinking that was the larger company that actually makes the larger.
Yeah, they
What is this?
it holds
A ball
3
dispenser.
balls.
Oh, okay, it's the rack. The
Oh, right. So this
big one and
it comes down,
yeah, open.
up, ball falls
Yeah,
into
yeah,
it.
yeah.
1 out of 6 times a ball falls into it, and then it goes.
Yeah, yeah.
Most of the time, the ball falls in and goes.
Technology.
There's some pretty good gearing on that little stepper motor that pulls the thing back. You could probably put a decent spring in there.
Oh yeah, it could easily be rejiggered. It's just.
Well, I picked up a trash fine dryer a couple of weeks ago, and I was looking at the motor, and it was really kind of interesting what they had done with that. They had an external switch so that when the starting windings disengaged, the contacts went, just not turning off the starter switch. It energized the timer for the dryer. And the other part was down below, there was a second set of contacts that when the starter winding disengaged, it then energized the heating coil. So just in one little package, all those little things happened.
They've done amazing things with contacts now, because these little micro switches for our hockey pucks, for Wi-Fi hockey pucks, they're rated 15 amps.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
That's questionable.
And, not to mention questionable, but they have 20 amp rating ones too.
Yeah.
Well, this was, it just surprised me how every bit of excess has been stripped out of the consumer goods.
Yeah.
To where.
Well, now hold on. Okay, so my mother's first dryer, this was an ancient Maytag. I don't remember the model number, but it was a Model 104 washer. So this thing had one belt, one transmission. It was super simple. And on that one, yeah, so it had centrifugal switch for the start capacitor, but they had replaced that with a double pole, double thread switch. So when that kicked in, it kept the motor energized. So I mean, it was all. They haven't changed dryers much.
Leroy, did you get?
And same thing.
I forwarded that.
Also ran the
notice
the
to you
timer on
in the library.
My dad had the motor
Could
out
you
of
send that to Jim?
a washing machine. That was a 2-stroke gasoline.
You have his email
little
or
Maytag
otherwise.
with the diagonal cylinder.
He just had the
Oh,
motor.
yeah,
It
I
had a
can
funny
forward it.
crank on it.
If
Oh,
you-
yeah, I got it.
If you
But
would,
some
yeah,
of my
that'd be
first
great.
4H engines were old
I happen to have
Briggs and Stratton and Maytag
couple
washing
emails.
machines.
Jim's email address is the same as the meeting notice, so.
Okay. Could,
Most
but
of
Reply
it-
to
if
the
you
meeting
could send it,
notice.
then that would be,
Except for
I'll send
Marcus.
it.
if you don't mind.
Oh, yeah, I know.
We redirect his mail.
Yeah. Yeah, really, the trash can.
Undo the archive, because that is not what I wanted to do.
One of the first relays I had that I remember. I don't remember where it came from, but well, I
Maybe
know
I'll
it
have to
came
do
off
this
of
from the
logo,
house.
and it was about
There
this
we
tall.
go.
Wow.
The coil was about this much of it, and the contacts opened 4 inches.
Wow.
And on either side
Done.
of them were coils
Thank you.
that blew out the arc.
Oh.
As it opened, magnetic field blew the arc forward.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I always wanted to see it operate, but I never had anything that was.
Windows.
They do
I
a
was
lot of
plugging
vacuum.
with
Yeah.
Windows.
Mhm.
Breakers nowadays.
That would be 12 volts, 3,000 amperes.
No, we're high voltage. So
Really?
the current locomotives, you have a diesel engine running a generator and electric drive. That's
Yes.
the electromotive. And yeah, they're pretty high voltage, so they can get by with smaller wire in the windings. It's less affected by a centrifugal force because that's down where you can't deal with it. Pretty cool. And also, it's gravity that holds the thing together. There's, on the motor unit, you've got 2 of the steel, 2 axles, 4 wheels. The motor sits in between, and it's got a pin about 6 inches in diameter that sticks up off the top, and the locomotive just sits on it.
Sits on top.
Yeah.
The diesel repair section of Middletown Works, if you don't use enough sand on the traction gears,
Mhm.
you'll get a flat wheel. Flat. And he invented a portable lathe and drove
By Sunday.
the motor that was on the
coupler right there.
locomotive and used his.
That's the right one for that motor.
This is the couple?
Yeah, that's the right one for that.
Yeah.
So it's a
It's
bonus
amazing,
that they
you know,
told you the right
take
one
off
to look for.
Very much metal to eliminate a flat
And those little couplers are the right ones for the motors.
Well, if you get it
They're tiny little suckers.
if you get it soon.
Yeah. Nobody wanted to ride on the engine.
But I know you had
Yeah.
a bunch of these motors and you were looking for a
They
couple.
sell the wheels also alone.
Yeah. You had a bunch of those motors and you were looking for the right couplers for them.
Yeah.
That's the right one.
Where is this place?
So what voltage do they?
Can you send the link of
Yeah.
this?
When I get home, I'll email you this.
And
Cool.
they adjust that on the locomotive by changing the fuel voltage on the generator. So that's
I was going to look and see it.
Point.
do with
And that's maybe
anything.
up front.
if they were actually trying to use the potentiometers and everything.
Yes. Coil within the generator. They're really easy to get inside of.
It doesn't look like they actually deal with it.
Yeah.
I've never gotten into the teardown.
Where is that a US company? Okay.
No. I got this from Amazon.
Yeah.
So it was here in the States, so it didn't take forever to get here.
You mean it was stocked in the States? Is it from China? Do they make all small robots, or does Japan and other places make them too?
Well, I've seen a few from Japan, but China's definitely got the.
When you were talking about the coupler, is that the axle on the? Is that what you were looking at? So it's actually the wheel axle. Yeah. Cool. I like the little motors.
Yeah, those little N20 motors, those are neat.
Pololu has these motors with encoders, or has encoders for them.
Yeah. Hulu,
They are really tiny.
Hulu, these aren't really the same motors as Pulu's. They just look like them. They're cheap. They're way cheaper than Pulu's motors.
Is Hulu, are they out in Nevada or somewhere?
Yes.
Okay.
Las Vegas, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I knew they were out west somewhere. Didn't really know where.
Do they make stuff, or do they
No,
just sell
they're
it?
reselling chunks.
Yeah, I can't remember what I bought from them, but I know.
Well, I mean, they do
brackets.
make some of their own, the little breakout boards, the motor
Okay.
driver boards, and all that stuff.
Okay.
They assemble themselves.
Have you bought from them? Okay. What kind of projects do you work on?
Robot stuff.
Okay, for yourself or for?
Yeah, I haven't done the last few years, but they have pretty good Black Friday pricing.
Okay.
And so I usually buy a bunch of stuff around that time.
Okay. Yeah.
I buy a lot. I actually own a lot of Hulu stuff, but I buy it off of eBay because I can't afford to buy it from Hulu.
It's not that much cheaper. Is it?
If I buy it used, it is.
Oh, used. Oh, okay. Sure.
I mean, you know, $150 robot for $35. That's
Well, yeah.
That's a deal.
They have a custom shield for this robot. They have drivers for almost everything.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I've owned 4 or 5 robots from this company, and their instructions are always good. There was a couple of minor things, but I think it's because they sent me a slightly different version than what the instructions said.
Do you want to look up the mobility scooter that I have an interest in? So it'd be a Drive. Let me see if I can call it up. Drive Prowler. So PROWLER 3410. The one down in the middle. Yeah, that'll do it. So that's the 4-wheel version. Let's see if they have.
Want to see a video?
Those
of it?
pictures, yeah, those pictures all work, but this is, yeah, any of the videos at the upper left, I guess, or something. Yeah, that's okay. This has a 5-inch ground clearance, so I like that.
With a 4-wheel, you get excellent all-round stability when traveling over rougher outdoor terrain. And when the battery gauge shows the need for recharging, it's simple via the port on the control panel. Along with great performance, the Prowler offers superior comfort. The full back captain's seat is available in either 20 or 22-inch widths, with an adjustable height headrest. The seat can be adjusted forward or backward for the ideal driving location. And it offers 3 height selections to suit users of nearly any height. The padded contour armrests flip up for
It has
convenient
fairly
boarding
big
and exiting
wheels
the
for
scooter,
the
and the armrest
outside,
width
and
can be adjusted to best
not
fit
many
the
have
user.
like a 5-inch
The
ground
armrest height
clearance
can
like
even be
this one
adjusted
does.
for added
So
comfort.
that's the thing I'm
Air-filled tires
most interested in.
Air-filled
ensure a
tires.
smoother ride over outdoor
It's a
surfaces.
car.
And ride comfort is enhanced with rear suspension. You can always count on Drive Medical to bring you convenient and innovative lifestyle solutions, now and for the road ahead.
Yeah. How much?
A new one would be $2,000. They
Incapacitated and had one of those. And the charging system was so unsophisticated, you had to manually keep track of how long you had it on the charger, or you would overcharge the batteries and kill the batteries.
Well, you can get scooters for $700, $600 and something dollars, but this one's not an average. Not the
Top
coverage.
of the line, huh?
Well, no, they're top of the line. You can pay $5,000 or whatever you want to pay.
Wait, yeah, show that one. That's top of the line.
Which one is it?
X8 Extreme.
Oh, Extreme, yeah.
It's got.
Oh, I thought it was going the other direction. These were exhaust pipes.
Was 150.
That's right.
150 top
Nitro.
end.
It's just blown.
14-inch
That's why it turns on a dime,
balloon,
though.
low-pressure air tires. These are the 14-inch low-pressure air tires. 4 motors on each wheel. There's a motor. So this is an extreme power chair. So if you want to go to the beach or anywhere to
You can go to the beach. This guy's down near Orlando.
This is a fantastic power chair.
Mark's Mobility.
This power chair has a 350-pound weight capability because it has a seat lift. If it did not have a seat lift, it would be a 400-pound weight capability. But with the seat lift, it's a 350-pound weight capability. This power chair will go about 6.2 miles an hour, so it's quite fast, 6.2 miles an hour. And another thing about this power chair is that when you drive this chair, and you want to turn to the right, the front wheels will turn with the joystick. As you can see, the front wheels turn automatically when you turn. So it's got front end steering, even though it's a 4-wheel power chair. The seat on this power chair, is 20 by 20. The outside width from here to here is about 28 inches. Now this chair has.
Run over yourself.
What's he trying to say with that seat
A
being
little
so
harder when you
wide?
got a big 4x4 chair to do it all like this. It has electric tilt. So the first thing I want to show you is the electric tilt on this chair. So you would hit number 1, and then the tilt would go back.
Oh, that's what I
Electric
need.
tilt right here.
Family.
These are lateral support. They can be adjusted up and down. They can be removed. If you don't want this extra bar, you can just take all this off. These are knee support. They can be adjusted any height that you want.
That's sleep time right there.
This is the electric
What you gonna do tilted back? Does it
So you
get
go
you
down
off
the
of it?
steps in it.
Do what?
So you go down the
So it's a
steps.
full electric
Oh,
tilt.
okay.
This is for unloading?
Back down.
It's like a dump truck. Dump me out on the floor, roll over my head. There you go.
That's right, you can't get up, that, you just keep going.
Back up, and you can change the joystick from the right to the left, depending if you're right hand or left hand. Now, as I said, we don't get too many of these in here because these are the extreme 4x4 power chairs. This is probably there's not too many chairs out there with 4 motors with this type of power. Each motor on this power chair is 700 watts of power. So 700 watts of power times 4 is 2,800 watts of power you have with these motors. So you have an extreme amount of power with these motors. The next thing I want to show you is
Four-wheel drive, about 3 horsepower.
this will be a seat lift.
Oh. face to face.
I'm thinking that if you get your oxygen hose tank.
The arms are adjustable, as you can see. They're adjustable over here. And you can flip up also, if you needed to flip them up.
I think they're trying to kill somebody. It's like,
There's an arm support here. That's why they didn't flip up. If I loosen up this arm support, it'll probably flip up. So this is the arm. When the arm support is in here like this, and you have it locked in, it'd be hard to raise the arm, but it gives you more support when you're pushing down when you have these arm support. So this would be your 12. I'm assuming this is about a 12-inch seat lift right there. We're going to bring the seat back down. So we've got a manual recline. There's a handle here. So if you want to recline the back, you can recline the back, but it'd be a manual recline. You've also got a
So we tilt it all the way back and then we recline it.
For large arm pads on here, which is very nice. And the next
Does it
thing
have
we're
a
going to show you the
lift?
electric legs. These would be your electric legs.
Like an ejector seat.
Yeah, that's right.
And these legs are adjustable.
Pretty about like that.
We can adjust them to the length
Yeah, it'd be like
of the
that
person
cat
who
leg.
needs to use them. So these are the electric legs. So we'll bring them back down. And you do have an adjustable headrest.
Is it electric?
Yeah.
Everything else is.
Everything else
Even the
is.
cup holder now.
Does it have quadraphonic sound?
Is 28 inches wide. From the width from outside of wheel to outside of wheel is 28 inches wide. This chair has a 4-inch ground clearance, so you have 4 inches under there. You can go more than 4 inches. Grass will bend over. It's no problem. The turning radius on this chair is 53 inches, so it takes quite a bit of a turning radius because it is a 4x4. It's not your run-of-the-mill power chairs. So the chair itself, all put together, weighs about 250 pounds with
So
the
we
batteries.
stick
And,
Mecum wheels
it'll
on
go
that.
at 15%
Right.
incline, so it
Sheepish.
has a grade of 15% it'll climb. And,
Yeah, why not?
so
This is your company, Marks.
Oh, they just sell these.
Mobility.
Yeah, down in Florida, I think they are.
So-
Because they also
this,
sell
This
the
sounds
other-
like a sales.
Oh,
commercial.
yeah, it's just, yeah,
Or a record
yeah, they're
set
just
type.
trying to sell.
He's trying to convince us why this is a good chair to buy. And he's going to charge us $6,000 for it.
Every time I see one of these scooters, it makes me happy.
can go in the
Makes me
highway
think
with
of
it.
my dad.
6
What?
miles an hour. I guess you could go somewhere.
6 miles.
This is the back of the
It's
chair.
not much.
You can see the adjustable
No, it's not
headrest
too
over
fast,
here.
but for one of these,
See
it's
the back of the seat, you can see the arms are adjustable out.
6.2,
Now, the
I
arms
think you said.
28 inches, they might be able to
That's
bring it
almost
little
a jog.
closer.
Yeah, you could.
Walking fast.
Must be a limited
Doing
because
cars
for safety
40
reasons.
miles an hour.
You
Like
could
this is
definitely
limited.
use that
Oh, it is
inside
limited. All
like a
these are
little
limited,
neighborhood.
yeah,
Get your
because of
mailbox
the,
on
The
it.
neutral, the levers are right here, and there's two
Can
more in the
hit
front of the chair.
someone or somebody.
Because of the Americans with Disabilities Act,
Got no license plate, can't take
has
any
a
points off.
schedule
These are your
for the
anti-tip
different
wheels on the
types,
back.
for the different
Heavy-duty
speeds and
frame.
everything.
This chair is built for outside.
Yeah, it is.
They had a PD cam show where some lady was out on a highway and she had turned the wrong way going back home.
Yeah.
And the cops were trying to get her to go back the other way, and she was resisting. No, I'm going the right way. It's right down here.
It's these other 100 people that are in the wrong direction.
Mark's Mobility's in Lakeland, Florida.
So at one point I got a call from my mother. My dad was at Micro Center and he had a coupon for something, or they had promised him something, or I don't know what. But they had no idea what he wanted. And he was arguing with them. My dad was on a scooter at the time. And they were so upset with him that they actually called the police, and the police were chasing him around Micro Center while he's on his scooter, trying to get him to calm down. And my mom's like, I think I'm gonna need a ride home. Jeez.
Be nice if you had one of those fast ones.
It was
Yeah.
pretty quick. If they hadn't played with it.
I went down and cleaned out part of the RV a couple days ago. I moved a box and I found a panda robot.
Yeah, that
What?
looks like Panda. Yeah.
Killer robot.
A Panda robot, yes. And I found my Commodore 64 games.
All right.
I have no idea if they were,
It's going back a few
Wow.
years.
but
I didn't try my Commodore.
You haven't tried it yet?
If you want to try it, I can bring it.
We'll try it.
Is it your old one, or did you buy it?
I bought it in a
He
ocean.
bought it from an auction.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
I clean everything up and everything looks fine, but he bought
I
he
found
lent me a power supply, but I
I found a
didn't try
power
it.
supply for him. My TI cartridges.
Space 1999.
Eagle.
The Eagle has landed.
Maybe it's a good
Wait,
idea to show them next
3
week
of them
the
exploded.
Commodore if it works.
Every episode.
I need to try it. I put it in a box and have the power supply in it.
There's actually not as much stuff in the RV as I thought there was, but there's still quite a bit that I need to get to and go through. So I'm still missing some robots.
Today I was waiting for an Amazon delivery, and when you check in the Amazon site, the tracking appears a Google Map with the car of the Amazon guy
Oh, yeah.
around, you know,
Yeah,
and he say 4 deliveries left, 5, 4, 3, and then you see the car in front of it.
And so this is the guy that's been driving and picking up
You
stuff
know
off my
where
porch.
he is all the time.
Yeah,
I know.
when they start to get close, it switches from just it's out for delivery to he's within six
Oh.
6 or 8 or something.
9 it begins at 9
Yeah.
deliveries.
I was like, well, that's cool.
Well, before I got here, they were talking on the news
Well, actually,
about
the delivery was yesterday, but the dog was outside barking and